What's up, YouTube? It's the Brooklyn Bounce channel. I'm back with part 2 of chapter 7 of Anthony's Boy, the Prince of Bath Avenue. The true story of former Bonanno family hitman Joey Calco. Written by Richard Stanley Kagan. John Gotti is a capo regime in the Carlo Gambino family of New York. It is 1985 and Carlo Gambino has died. His brother-in-law, Big Paul Castellano, was the boss of all bosses in New York City, and the Gambino family was his. John Gotti decides to take over without asking permission from the other families, like you're supposed to do when it comes to killing a boss in the mafia. There are some rules that a man of La Cosa Nostra must follow. If he's going to kill a made man, he's got to get permission from his boss first. And if he's going to kill a boss of a family, he's got to get permission from the whole 5 families. They are supposed to be in on it together. These rules of the these are the rules of the American mob since the beginning of La Cosa Nostra. So now John Gotti wants to be the boss. He plots to kill Big Paul on December 16th, 1985, in the middle of Manhattan in front of Sparks Steakhouse, which with Sammy the Bull Gravano at his side, like 2 street cowboys. Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano helped bring down John Gotti when he became an FBI informant and turned state's evidence. He participated in a conspiracy within the family to murder Gambino boss Paul Castellano, along with co-conspirators John Gotti, Angelo Ruggiero, Frankie DiCicco, and Joseph Aramone. Gravano was the highest-ranking member of the 5 families to break his blood oath and turn informer. His testimony resulted in several La Cosa Nostra members. Becoming informants also. This act is going to change everything that the mob stands for, and the respect that it has built up after all these years. It's all gone in the blink of an eye, the squeeze of a few triggers. There is no more respect and honor, and no more loyalty among friends. Now, Gotti is the new boss of the Gambino family because nobody but the killers know who whacked Big Paul. The capo regimes of the Gambinos get together and elect John Gotti as the new Gambino boss because everybody is afraid to make a move against him. All they have are rumors that Gotti was behind the hit, but they all remember how Big Paul Castellano was killed, and in their hearts they silently vowed to get the guys who killed him to even up the score. But first they have to get proof, and then they have to have proof, and then get the necessary permissions. They got to follow the rules. There are big changes taking place in our Bath Avenue neighborhood, and we see guys coming and going and having a lot of meetings. And Anthony Sparrow's West End Social Club, just a few doors away from my house. I never saw so many wise guys all at once in my whole life coming in and out. They were like bees swarming in floods in a field of flowers, trying to get pollen and stuff to make honey. But deep down, it wasn't about money. But deep down, it wasn't about honey. It was about money. That's all that it was ever about. Any time, money and more money and big time money. We could see that something has gone wrong, and there is a lot of walk-in talks going on all over the place, where guys walked around the neighborhood talking with their hands over their mouths so that the feds and cops couldn't see what they were talking about by reading their lips and by their body language. There are a lot of secrets and rumors floating around. I see Sammy the Bull come out and talk to Anthony Sparrow, who was the acting boss of the Bonanno family at the time. Joe Messina was away at college at college. This hit on Paul Castellano was a bad day for the mob, and a sad day for me personally. I knew Big Paul personally. I worked for him when I was a kid delivering meat from the meat store on Bath Avenue that he owned. So being a part of La Cosa Nostra, I didn't like this move John Gotti made against Big Paul, but I couldn't say anything about this because I was only 15 years old at the time, but I knew I wouldn't be 15 forever. That is, unless they killed me right there on the spot before I could get away and grow up and get bigger with a lot more power in my hands, like the power of a 9mm or a .45. I know there are a lot of men who didn't like this either, and they are plotting to kill Gotti. One of the men I know personally is a boss of Lucchese family called Anthony Gaspipe Casso. I also know the boss of the Genovese family, Vincent de Cincicante, personally. These men are looking to kill John Gotti. They won't stop until they do it, or be at least part of it. George Conti is with Anthony Gaspipe Casso, so we were all well informed what was going on in the streets. John Gotti makes his new underboss a man from Bath Avenue, whom which I grew up with and who I know very well. He is Frank DeChico from the Gambino family of the Bath Avenue faction. His older brother had a social club on Bay 13th Street, just around the corner from my house. It's been there a long time, as far back as I can remember. Frankie DeChico used to make me and my friends go to his home, go swimming in his pool. He was a good guy. He was a good guy to us, and he made a big mistake by plotting to kill Big Paul with Gotti and Gravano. One day Frankie was to pick up Gotti and go to Manhattan on a meeting. Frankie had a social club on 86th Street and Bay 8th Avenue, across the street from the Buick dealership. Frankie was sitting, waiting for John to arrive so that they could go together to Manhattan. John was late, so Frankie went without him. Not too far down the road, Anthony Gaspipe Casso was also waiting for them. Frankie leaves with a friend who looks like Gotti. Anthony Gaspipe planted a bomb under the car of Frankie DeChico so that when Frankie rides and passes by him, Gaspipe hits the button and Frankie and the other guy, who's a Gotti lookalike from a distance, go up in smoke. This is the beginning of the retaliation for Big Paul Castellano. This will be a big war that will finish with John Gotti's downfall. Now Frankie is dead. Me and my boys go out to the funeral to pay our respects to him. Now John needs a new underboss, so he picks his boy, Sammy the Bull Gravano, who was with him on the murder of Big Paul. He doesn't know it then, but the bull will be the doomsday of La Cosa Nostra and the end of the mob as it used to exist, and the end of the mob's morals of the life that used to hold wise guys together in the unbreakable bond and glued cement of omerta, the code of silence, the way of honor, and the way of honor. There will be no more code of silence and honor. It died in the streets of Manhattan in front of Sparks Steakhouse on December 16th, 1985. A day which was to live in the mob infamy forever, and which allowed the blacks and Colombians to take over the businesses of the crippled La Cosa Nostra. Okay, that's it for chapter 7. It's the Brooklyn Balance channel. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, share. I'm sorry for my voice. I'll be back tomorrow with chapter 8. I'm gonna have to break chapter 8 up into 2 videos also. It's like 36 pages. thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks.